So if you know me at all, you know I come from a large family, right? I just got off the phone with my mama. Now look, I might gossip a little bit. You know, mostly what happened right here on the block. My mama, on the other hand, well, look, let's just say I come by it honest. So I said to my mother, how you doing? How you doing? I said, how'd you sleep? Because, you know, that's like our usual greeting. She's an older lady. You know, I want to know if she slept good. I said, how'd you sleep? She said, not good. I said, wait, what happened? Are you okay? Like, was there a health situation? She said, no. I got a call from Janice in the middle of the night. I said, oh my goodness, why did Janice call you in the middle of the night? Janice is one of her little sisters. Now keep in mind, little sister, which means she's in her late 70s instead of her mid 80s. So little sister, right? She said, Janice called me in the middle of the night. I said, why did Janice call you? She said, because your uncle died. And I was like, oh my goodness, which uncle? To look. I got an uncle who was deep down one of these Shackley rabbit holes. You know, Shackley, them little shakes or whatever. I think they have vitamins and stuff too. He was part of the MLM and he was going to get rich. Y'all got this relative. We all got this relative, right? This relative who's going to get rich. He this close to getting rich and he knows everything and he has wisdom or whatever, according to him. According to the rest of the world, nah. So I said, well, wait, what happened? She's like, Uncle Shackley died. Now, that's not his name, but that's just what we took to calling him. Because every time you saw him, how you doing? I'm having a good Shackley day. You know what I'm saying? Every conversation was how he could sell you some Shackley. You need some vitamins? You need some deodorant? I don't know what Shackley sell, but he had all of it. And he was trying to sell you some of it. And according to him, any day he was about to be a millionaire. Okay, died broke, living in the basement of one of his kids. But you ain't heard that from me. So look, I said, oh, so why'd you get a call in the middle of the night? She said, I don't know. I told Janice, first of all, I never liked him to start with. That's the first thing you said when you found out the man was dead. She said, yes. Tell the truth and shame the devil. It was the truth. I'm just over here shaming the devil. You know I'm a good Christian. I was like, okay, mama, so that kept you up at night? She said, no. Once I get up, you know I have trouble going back to sleep. I told Janice, this is ridiculous. Why you got to call me at 3 o'clock? He was still going to be dead at 8 or 9. You could have waited till 8 or 9 to tell me he was dead. Not like he was coming back. Was he going to rise from the dead? You going to sprinkle some Shackley powder over him? Oh, I was heated. I was like, Mama, that's your brother. When is the funeral? She said, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I said, well, are you going to the funeral? She was like, I mean, it depends what's on my schedule. Your schedule? Your sibling has passed away. She's like, right, but if it was one of my other siblings, it would be different. But it's Shackley. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have things to do. Mama, it's your last chance to say goodbye. She's like, oh, well, I said goodbye to him already, like in 1974 when he was talking mess about me. I said bye to him back in the 70s. So ain't no use of me, you know, pulling out a good dress and stuff, having to pick up stuff from the dry cleaner. Look, the man is supposed to be coming to clean the fish pond. So it depends on the day that the fish pond man comes because, you know, them fish, there was a gold one swimming at the bottom. Mama, stop talking about the fish. Mama, I'm going to need you to focus. Stop talking about the fish. She's like, I'm just saying. I thought it was like 10 fish in there, and now I can only see 4 of them. But once the man cleans the pond, once I can see clear to the bottom, I can make sure my fish is okay. And then if the fish is good and everything, then I can see if I got time to go to Shackley's funeral. My mother, my very own flesh and blood, is scheduling attendance at her brother's funeral around whether or not the man can come and clean the fish pond. Uncle Shackley was not well liked, you might say. Then she went on to explain to me, well, guess this whore of a wife is going to be there. Mama, you cannot, she an old lady. How you, she was like, I mean, she was a whore when he met her. You think she not a whore now just because she's in her 70s? 70-year-olds can be whore. Mama, I'm going to need you to stop saying that word, Mama. Can you at least call her like a garden tool or something? She's like, well, listen, I call it like I see it. You've been sending me them videos about the we don't care no more lady. That lady on the internet or whatever talking about we don't care. I don't care. I don't care if I know she a hoe. I knew she's a hoe. She was a hoe when she married him. That last baby, who even knows if that baby is his, is my brother's baby? Mama, focus. Okay, first of all, that last baby is now in his mid-40s. He not a baby no more. He a man. He got kids of his own. And she's like, I still don't know if that's my brother's baby. Mama, y'all, My mother is something else. A sight to behold. And then she says, well, wait. I'm looking at my emails right now. Oh, I see. Okay. Now, they done cremated Shackley. So that makes it a little easier. I can see him when I want to see him. But no, there's going to be like a funeral or something. She's like, it looks like, middle of July. That's 3 weeks away. They're not having his funeral for 3 weeks. So I might be able to make it, assuming nothing else don't come up. Oh, I hope they don't make it on a Wednesday, because I got Wednesday night Bible study. Mama, I think you could skip. First of all, funerals are not typically held at night. But she's like, well, I got to travel down there. How am I going to get back in time for Wednesday night Bible study? I said, are you teaching a Bible class? No, but I like to attend. I like to keep, I like to keep a word in my heart. That word that got you calling that man's wife a hoe? She's like, it's Shackley. It's not like it was somebody regular. It was Shackley. He was always ready. Now, that first wife of his, I liked her. She was a godly woman. Then he left that godly woman for this hoe. What, I'm supposed to be sad? Then she said, and I quote, maybe they could just send me the Zoom link for your brother's funeral. And she was just like, That way I don't have to drive. I got the good Zoom. Your sister taught me how to clean the camera on the computer. So, I can say, you know what? I might even get me a hat. Well, it's not like I would buy a new one. I got some hats up here in the closet. I put a hat on my head, and then I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna ask Janice and them, just set up a Zoom link. I'll Zoom in. All your other siblings are gonna be there. She's like, well, not really. Because I was talking to Martha, and Martha said to me, well, she might be busy too. She don't know if she's gonna go. Your other sister is not gonna go to your brother's funeral. She's like, well, ain't none of us even really like Shackley like that. It's not like he left us nothing. Martha says she's not really sure that's even her brother. Y'all grew up in the same household for however many years. He been at family gatherings, him, his family, everybody. And Auntie Martha talking about, well, I don't know. How are all these siblings too busy to attend the funeral of their sibling? And then my mama opened her mouth and said, well, it's a hierarchy. Well, what is the hierarchy, Mama? She said, well, some people are like category A deaths. They die. You drop everything and you go and you like fry the chicken and you support the family. And you go and you stand there and you do all the things. I was like, okay. She was like, category B are people where you go, but you don't rush. You go. And then it's category C. You could just zoom in and that's enough. Certain siblings at category A. Shackley was clearly category C. I'm trying to figure out what's my category in her, but I would like to think I was category A, but also it got me to thinking of the people I know and the uncles and aunts. What category do they fall in for me? Now listen, Shackley was my uncle too. Am I going to that funeral? Nah. I live far. I live far away, and I got stuff to do. It's some Netflix document. I'm gonna send my good wishes. Now look, I thought Shackley been living with his daughter all this time, right? They said the Shackley was living with, and they gave the child's name. I thought that was a girl's name. Turned out it was his son. Clearly we wasn't close. Them cousins I wasn't close to, because in later in life, Shackley got with this lady who has some kids, and I never really was close to her kids or whatever, y'all. I kind of want to go and see if Auntie Martha show up and my mom and them, if they call the wife a whore to her face at the funeral. But they all good Christian women. They're going to be wearing their hats, possibly on Zoom, possibly watching other stuff on the second screen in the background. I'm just saying. But that's family. So I'm going to offer my condolences. Rest in peace, Uncle Shackley. I guess. I'll see y'all later. Bye.